Chicago Sports Desk. As always, I'm Alex Burstein, and today we've got a show for you. As September is just about to start, that means one other thing. So is football. And today we have the ultimate Big Ten football preview. This podcast is going to be broken up into two parts, each uploaded today, but this is the first part, and that is we are going to be reviewing the East Division. 7 teams all fighting for one spot in the Big Ten championship against the champion of the West Division. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, I'm going to go from the bottom to the top of my predictions, and I'm going to give you what I predict the team's record to be, what their current AP top ranking is, and if they have one. And then also what to watch for in either their first game or in the rest of the season. So we're going to start at the bottom. As I said, number 7, we have Rutgers University. They're going to be at the bottom again. They were last season. They were 2-10 last season. This year they're going to go one up with a win and go 3-9, and they started the season not in the AP rankings. So the Rutgers opened their season versus Washington University Huskies. The number 4, no, not this season, but last season they were number 4, made it to the college football playoff, lost to Alabama, but they're still a dangerous team nonetheless. So Rutgers is definitely going to have a hard time against them. That game is on September 1st, which is this Friday, and that game is going to be on Fox Sports 1. What to watch for? So Rutgers are most likely going to lose their first game against Washington and the Huskies, as that game is almost a no-doubter. Washington should get the blowout win there. If they don't, they should win anyways, but I'm definitely predicting a blowout win for Washington. But since they're going to lose their first game, they definitely have 4 more games that are definitely winnable, 3 that they definitely should win, 1 that they might win, but probably won't. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to go from most likely to beat to less likely to beat. So Morgan State is, probably none of you guys have heard of it. Maybe you have. But Morgan State is, I believe, Morgan State is who the Rutgers play in the 3rd week. Rutgers possibly, hypothetically, could be going into this game 0-2. They need a win against Morgan State, but probably Rutgers are going to go in 1-1, come out 2-1. Next, they have a game against Eastern Michigan in, I believe the second week. And so Rutgers are going to come in 0-1 most likely, and this is what I was saying, probably going to win that one, go into Morgan State with 1-1. And then the 3rd game that they most likely should win is against Purdue. Purdue is the other bad team, really bad team in the Big Ten, and they're at the bottom of the Big Ten West. We're in the bottom last year, most likely going to be in the bottom this year. So I have Rutgers winning one more game than them, so I have Rutgers winning that, but it's really anybody's game. And then finally is Michigan. Michigan's a ranked team, so it's a hard to think that Rutgers could beat them, but Michigan really has a question mark. So they could be really good, they could be really bad, they could lose their first match and be out of it, Michigan. And so it really depends where the teams are when they play. So the next team I have is Indiana. Indiana is most likely going to go 5-7. They are not ranked. Their first game is tomorrow night on ESPN against the number 2 team and the Big Ten team, Ohio State. The one thing to watch for, I forgot to say, the Ohio State versus Indiana game is on ESPN. And the one thing to look out for is Indiana is tomorrow night, a win over Ohio State could shake up the entire college football playoff. Not just their season, not just the Big Ten season, the whole Division I. Why? Because Ohio State is predicted to possibly be the college football champions. One loss to Indiana, then they probably won't get in to even the college football playoff. no bets that they're going to get into the Big Ten championship. And then that means either Alabama is going to win, or another surprise team is going to make it into to the college football playoff. They could be a surprise, along with Florida State, or that fourth spot's really up for grabs. So with Ohio State, if they lost to Indiana, that would change the whole picture of college football. So number 5, we have Maryland. Maryland, I have going 6-6. Their first game, they could win, they could lose. They're playing a Texas team that is usually good. They have Charlie Strong as their coach, but I'm not sure if they are going to be that good this year. So Maryland, Texas, that's going to be a good game. That's this Saturday on Fox Sports 1. And what to watch for Maryland is their injuries and a weak depth chart. They have depth at most positions, but their second, third, fourth string are all freshmen, sophomore. Most of their roster is underclassmen, so that could definitely hurt them in the long run. And that's why I have Maryland only going 6-6. If they have in the few years when they have a more experienced team, I have them competing with Michigan, possibly even Penn State for one of those top team spots in the Big Ten East. So next we have number 4 in the Big Ten East, and that is Michigan State. I have Michigan State going 8-4, and Michigan State is the first of our ranked teams. They are 44th in the nation. They weren't part of the top 25, but they did receive 1 vote for being in the top 25. Therefore, they're technically ranked, so they're 44th out of 44 teams that were ranked. Michigan State starts their season against Bowling Green, also on Saturday on ESPNU. Bowling Green is not a great team, so they should be able to get the W there. But it's interesting because Michigan State is the question mark team of the East. They could pass Penn State and challenge a great, predicted to win the national championship, Ohio State team, or they could absolutely tank and go lower than Indiana, possibly even Rutgers. So it really depends on how the first few games play out, how they play against good teams, how they play against bad teams. So Michigan State is the question mark of the Big Ten East. So next we have the number 3 team, Michigan University. Not Michigan State. Oh, I forgot to say, or no, I did say. Michigan State's 8-4. Michigan I have going 9-3 because they're ranked number 11. They're not going to be that high at the end of the season, I'm guessing. I say maybe 23, 24, up there, but they're going to be a ranked team. They're going to be good. But one of those losses, problem is, might come in the first week. They're playing against number 17, the Florida Gators. That game is also on Saturday on ABC, but that game has been said to be probably the second most competitive game in this opening weekend behind Alabama versus Florida State. So, just like the Alabama-Florida State, these are two teams that hypothetically could make it to the playoffs. No saying that they will, but they could. So, it all depends on how Michigan's young players play. They haven't, in the practice and in previous seasons, they have not hit their prime yet. But if they have a few young players hit their prime and the roster changes, that the few that they had really pay off, Michigan could be a team to watch out for. And then next we have number 2, Penn State. They're going 11-1. They're 6th ranked in the country, and their one loss is coming to number 1, Ohio State. They opened their season against Akron, Ohio. That's also on Saturday on ABC. Penn State should easily get the W there. They had a pretty good offseason, I've got to say. 15th best recruiting class in the nation after having one of their best seasons ever this previous season. So, this is really a chance for Penn State to show that they could repeat their magic that they had last year. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm saying with their recruiting, with their depth, with the nation's best running back, probably in the nation. Definitely Division I, possibly all 3 divisions. Penn State really could go some places and definitely could challenge Ohio State for that title. That running back is Saquon Barkley, and he has been ranked as one of the top few running backs in the nation for a while now. Finally, this has been the build-up. Number 1, Ohio State. I've been going 12-0, perfect. They're the number 2 team in the country, but that easily could become number 1. I've been going to the Big Ten Championship, winning the Big Ten Championship, and then making it to the final of the college football playoff, where I'm not sure, depends on who they're playing. Alabama, I don't think they can get the W. Someone else, I definitely do. So Ohio State, I have going 12-0, perfect record in the regular season. They start off their season against Indiana. That is tomorrow night on ESPN. I already said that. And one player really that could boost Ohio State, Kevin Wilson. Tomorrow night it's gonna be his night because he's playing against Indiana University, which is the school that really wanted him the most. So we're gonna have to stay tuned to see how these rankings change throughout the season. That's what I think. Stay tuned because later I'm gonna be uploading another podcast today, and it's gonna be of Part 2, the West Division, which also has a bunch of tight races for top spots and bottom spots. But thanks to Graham Steelberg for that sick opening music. That is really nice of you to give to me. And then also, I guess that's all we have. Thanks for listening today, folks. Make sure to tune in later and check out all my other podcasts. And that's all. Bye.